Yeah. She's the one next to them? Yeah. She's kind of walking a little bit behind them? Yeah.
I think it's her shoe.
Why is she? You tell me that here too. Because I want to, you know,
welcome you to the 113th commencement exercise at Marshfield High School.
Right here?
326 graduates, 174 males and 152 females will receive their diplomas today. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing through the retiring of the colors. It gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce Chantel Burns, the class chaplain. Chantel was the winner of the School Spirit Award. We've been extremely impressed with her enthusiasm, her spirit, and her commitment. This young woman is a worker and a plugger, one of the true leaders of Marshfield High School. She's a participant in the student government, a class officer, key club, and is captain for the past 3 years. She will be studying at Florida Southern next year. My pleasure to introduce Chantel Burns.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Each year, the graduation committee has the difficult task of selecting the people in the class who will do the singing. This year, the honor for singing the national anthem goes to Miss Colleen Walls. Colleen is one of those people who does not shy away from the challenge. She's a two-sport star in field hockey and basketball teams. She's involved with the Key Club National Honor Society, has been singing the national anthem in all of the events. My pleasure to introduce a young lady who's going to Assumption College in Worcester, Colleen Walls.
Oh, see, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rumbled, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
How about a nice round of applause for our Marines? Mr. Class Marshal, please seat the graduates in the audience. It's my extreme pleasure to introduce the president of the class, Rachel Breen.
It is an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to welcome you to the commencement ceremonies for the class of 2004. To all who graduate today, I have just 3 words to say. We did it. Our family, friends, teachers, administrators, clergy, school committee members, and town officials are all here because they are so proud of us, and for good reason. This is our day. Seeing each of us for the first time in our caps and gowns, it is hard to believe that once minuscule 8th graders, we have come this far. Together, we have proved ourselves to be a determined, friendly, respectful, talented, and fun-loving group of students. Our intellect and curiosity has impressed the faculty, and we have graced the title of being one of the smartest grades to ever pass through the hallways of Marshfield High School. Not only is this one of the greatest moments of our lives, but of the families that have been with us along the way. For the parents that join us in celebration, thank you. You have held our hands through our first school bus ride, drove us to absolutely everywhere, and taken pictures till we were dizzy at prom. Now it is time to let go of each of our hands, because today a space will be made for our diplomas. The teachers that have taught, guided, and offered friendships to us also deserve a special respect, and each of them will certainly be missed. Thanks to them, the most profound aspects of our high school experience will endure. These are exciting times for all of us, and today is the culmination of many senior activities that our class has recently celebrated together. From planning our first tropical dance in 8th grade, the friendships of our class have culminated into memories that the class of 2004 officers will never forget. Serving as your class president has been a rewarding and enjoyable experience, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to help guide us through high school. I speak to you today, the class of 2004, not of matter gleaned from textbooks, but the emerging self-assurance that your family, friends, and teachers have been blessed with witnessing in each of you. For many of us, today is the first step to a trip to be plotted not by parents or teachers, but by emerging adults. Yes, adults. The word brings a new and exciting and a little frightening connotation, so to tone it down a little, what we are truly celebrating here today is growing up. The doors to our promising future are open today with the graduation ceremony that awaits us. The values that have been instilled in us by our family and friends, and the lessons we've learned from our teachers is the key that will guarantee our class shining in whatever we do. In whatever you do, and wherever you go, always leave a place in your heart for Marshfield. Congratulations on our day and the incredible future that awaits us. The next phase of our lives is waiting for us. Show them how it's done. Fellow classmates, as our commencement ceremonies begin, go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you've imagined.
Our next speaker is Sarah Coyne, who is every high school teacher's and counselor's dream student. Coyne.
In a moment's time, I close my eyes for a moment and the moment's gone. It seems as if it were yesterday, not far from a dream and not quite reality. Walking through those doors for the first time, what was to come? Endless hallways and doors replaced the comfort I had come to know, love, and need. The hallway was empty. I was lost in such a big place. Somehow I needed to get ahead, get a hold of what seemed to be such an important race. I closed my eyes to catch my balance in this whirlwind of new experiences. How little did I know time would fly. Eyes opened, not only to my new world, but to new people and places. I was learning this high school game. Every day was different and never the same. The hallways didn't seem so crowded now, with unfamiliar faces. New friends and activities were filling once void spaces. Still an underclassman, but nearing a crossroad, evolving from young to old. New pathways were forming, slowly being paved in gold. Almost there, we were just over halfway, but on my mind I still had so much to say. So many experiences and memories were made over the years. All too soon would these moments be culminated in joyous tears. In an instant, a second, a blink of an eye, as I have found once before, this moment is passing me by. The countdown was on. The days passing slowly at first and gaining speed as we waited. The path in front of us is no longer gated. For the unknown to unfold in front of our eyes, my friends and classmates are beginning new chapters in their lives, as am I. Now as I stand in front of them, friends, family, and class, yet another moment is beginning to pass. This time, however, I know in my heart, even though we go on separate journeys, we'll never be apart.
Good afternoon. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the 2004 class gift. Our first gift is $100 to the class of 2008. This starting bank is an incentive for them to earn more. Our class next purchased a karaoke machine complete with speakers, 2 microphones, and hundreds of song selections on CD. We are donating this karaoke machine for the entertainment and enjoyment of future classes. Our last gift is also our most prided. Our gift committee has worked diligently alongside Mr. Deftos and crew. The class of 2004 is working hard for the beautification of the courtyard outside the cafeteria. This renovation will revamp the entire area and create a space outside for students to enjoy themselves during lunch periods. Landscaping, planting, and restoration of existing elements are inclusive of this project. Our hard work is expected to show its face at the end of this month when the actual work will be done. So lastly, I'd like to send a quick thank you to those members of the gift committee: Joanne Guevara, Allison Burns, Jeff Sullivan, Justin Pelkowski, and Brett Duffy. Thank you. And also to Mr. Deftos and other involved parties for your help and advice. Thank you very much.
The honor of singing. She will be accompanied by Nick Aruka. Andrea is a very likable and personable young lady. She has an infectious smile and warmth of personality. She's been involved in our choir, is an active member of her youth group. She works part-time in a grocery store here in town. Will be attending Bridgewater State College, majoring in creative writing and music. She hopes to be a teacher or a famous pop star. Now that will be interesting. We think all teachers are real pop stars. And Nick is just an extraordinary kid. He loves his music. When you think of Nick, you think of an incredibly talented and gifted musician. He's the leader of one of our local bands. He's a perfectionist. His personality, drive, and determination will serve him well as he studies media production and music at Quinnipiac College in Connecticut. It's my pleasure to introduce Andrea and Nick.
having love, peace and love. Well, I let you go unselfishly, 'cause everyone needs time to be alone. Maybe time will bring you back, and if it does, you'll always have a home. I sign my name, no one to blame it on, because I'm on your side, no question of pride. Peace and love, tears of joy, kindness of stranger. Know that you're wronged, paid in gold by guardian angels. Wherever you may be in this world, my salutation says it all. May you always have enough peace and love. I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your love pass you by. We're not for the memories. Remember the good times that we had. Let them slip away from us when things got bad. But clearly I foresaw you smiling in the sun. I wanna feel your warmth upon me. I wanna be the one. And I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your love pass you by. We're not for the memories. Peace and love, tears of joy, kindness of strangers. Know that you're wrong, paid in gold by guardian angels. Wherever you may be in this world, my salutation says it all. May you always have enough. May you always have enough. May you always have enough peace and love.
The Vice President will be attending Syracuse, looking for a degree in mechanical or aeronautical engineering. Peter Tilley.
Thank you very much, Mr. Deftos. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor of talking to you today about the class of 2004's class advisors. When this class first started their quest to take over MHS way back in freshman year, of course after the grand old 8th grade experience, one woman dared to take the challenge as a guide for the class officers. Unfortunately, this woman didn't know what she was getting herself into. Mrs. Charlotte Mahoney volunteered to harness the amazing spirit of power that this class almost had back then. The class grew with each and every event that it put on, and Miss Mahoney was right there with us. She made sure that everything got done and got done right. Some kids didn't like the way Miss Mahoney took charge of situations. Granted, I myself was a little unsure of the approach every now and then, but looking back on it, I'm more than glad that she did take charge. Nothing would have been done so well, and not much would have been done, period, if it wasn't for the amazing effort put in by Miss Mahoney. This certain advisor had a bit of a fork in the road of life this past summer. She could either stay with Marshfield High or go on to a different career. Miss Mahoney wisely chose the career path. I know I was personally sad to see her go, but I'm glad every now and then to hear from her and to see her here today. Although she didn't get to drag us through this senior year, we still owe great thanks to Mrs. Charlotte Mahoney. I'm not done quite yet, don't worry. We came back from summer break, and bam, no advisor. What do we do? I don't know. I thought to myself, well, isn't that a bit on the uncool side? Fortunately, we had two great candidates offer their time to help this class. Mrs. Sangster and Mrs. Wool both proved to be too valuable to let go, so we just decided to keep them both. These two ladies were here to help us no matter what the time of the day, whether before, during, or after school. They always made themselves available. Both were very personal with the officers and knew a great deal of the class before becoming advisors. I've got to be completely honest, though. I said it before and I'll say it again. Miss Sangster, great cooking during deck the halls and officer meetings. I loved it. And Mrs. Wool, you always made sure that there was no student left behind in the scheme of things. You've always been known to let some kids buy a ticket late or even give up your own meals for someone who just didn't hear about the event. Thank you very much. And no matter what the event, or problem with the event for that matter, we knew we could turn to Mrs. Sangster and Mrs. Wool. For all their effort and valuable time, both of our class advisors deserve to be recognized and thanked by everyone here. And right now, I ask all three of you to please stand up for recognition.
Okay, well first I have a little update. Ashley Hubbard, she's going to be coming in here in about maybe like 20 minutes. She just won her 6th state title. So let's make sure when she gets in here we give her a big round of applause because it's pretty impressive. Yeah, it's really impressive actually. Okay, well I guess we've all made it. And over the past 2 weeks, I've been looking around and trying to figure out exactly where we are in our lives. And I've come to believe that for the first time, we're not just taking another step. For the duration of our lives, we've been going along a directed and common path that we all walk slowly together. Starting today, we can no longer walk that path. Today we become, each and every one of us, our own guides. We have proven to the people who have taught us and who we respect so much that we have what it takes. They've shown us much of life and ourselves and given us the tools in order to be our own guides. And for this, we are eternally in debt. We have proven ourselves to them. Now it's time to prove it to ourselves. This is our chance and our opportunity. We have the chance to embrace our potential, and making the most of this chance is the only way we can somewhat satisfy the debts of all we have received. Right now, we have a limitless potential. We all feel this. We just have to believe in what we feel. In the end, though, potential means nothing. All it is a chance. A chance to live as ourselves in such a pure and unadulterated way, and to be content and satisfied with who we are. It's not a matter, as some say, of who we want to become. The only thing we need is who we already are. And letting this ever-present self become unleashed and embraced and trusted will be to fulfill our potential. I've seen this potential so much in so many other faces and eyes here today, and really I have to admit it's It's amazing. And if we can accept this potential, I believe we are on our way. In the coming months, we'll receive a plethora of questions that will demand decisions. Decisions we've really already made. We know the answer, and we can feel it. And this feeling is the only certain truth in the world. We must not fear embracing what we know is the truth. We have the advice of a nation on our doorstep at all times. However, we must remember that we are our own guides, and we know the truth. All the advice in the world can be ignored, because only this truth and this feeling will make us happy. In yourself, you can find what makes you happy. And once you do, never resist. Accept it. When you know what it is you must do, trust it and follow it to the end of the line. It will be hard, but if it weren't, it wouldn't be worth much. Finding ourselves is the only success. And success is not the result of spontaneous combustion. We must set ourselves on fire. That's what we have to do. We have to do it not for each other and not for the world. We have to do it because we believe it. We have to take this chance because it makes us feel alive. We have to do it even though inside ourselves we really don't understand why, but we can feel it, and because we know it is the truth. And we have to do it because that's what living is. And I hope today that we can all do what I know we're all capable of, which is to have confidence and trust in the only thing we can really be certain of now, ourselves. Thank you.
Mom, I swear that didn't happen. It's all a lie. We've all heard our parents gush about the day they brought us home from the hospital. It was on that very day that we first felt home. We may not remember it all that well, but it was the first time we had a place where we could find security. As I sat down to reflect upon my past 5 years here at MHS, the first idea that popped into my head was home. Marshfield High School has truly become my home. As I walk the halls, faces I know and memories I've made surround me. However, we've come a long way. I can still remember my first day of high school. As I arrived all decked out in brand new clothes and a bright orange backpack, thinking that I was all that in a bag of chips, I was excited for what awaited me. But then I saw Godzilla. Measuring over 6 feet in height and tipping the scales at 250 pounds, he carried a Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee in one hand and had more facial hair than I thought was humanly possible. I, on the other hand, plagued with my ever-changing voice, was still trying to adjust to the caffeine that was in soda and was hoping that one day my stubble would warrant me my own razor. I began to tremble, as I am now, and I realized that I had to set foot into the school and took a step into the right direction. However, what awaited me inside was a different world that I'd never been exposed to, and in my 5 years I've grown personally, but I've also watched as the members of the class of 2004 grew into the poised leaders of the future. I've watched as we embraced our new home and every opportunity that it presented. At one point or another, we've all moved into a new home. Whether or not we wanted to, the change that ensued was not easy. At first, we were a little unsure of ourselves, not quite ready to explore the new place. But eventually, we learned where the floors creaked at night and figured out what windows were the best to escape out of. The same thing took place at Marshfield High School. We all began to explore our new homes. Some ventured out into the field of athletics, where we let our green and white pride shine. Others flourished in the realm of academia, mastering the works of Shakespeare and advanced calculus. Some of my friends decided to take a jam-packed load of extracurricular activities, spending countless hours working on the yearbook and making a difference by doing community service with the Key Club and learning the field of marketing through DECA. It was hard to remember just how nervous and shy we'd been as we entered our new home. As the years passed, we began to find security in the little things. We learned that the school cookies were almost as good as Mom's homemade recipe, and that when in need of a little home cooking, the Ramble Inn was a world-class restaurant. Looking back on it now, MHS has been where we've experienced the memories that we'll keep with us for the rest of our lives. If only the walls of our home could talk. And now, as we prepare to leave our homes for the first time ever, it's important to remember where we've come from. A part of Marshfield will always be with us. We've taken one last walk around the halls of MHS and opened our lockers to clean out the pictures and memories that we've accumulated over the last 900 school days. As we go our separate ways, we'll remember the little unique things about Marshfield High School. The way teachers greeted us with a big smile, the anticipation of report cards and prom, the way it felt at 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon. Our final classes are over, but now we prepare for our most important class ever, the real world. We've achieved so many things that there is no doubt in my mind that the class of 2004 will change the world. Whatever may await us will be our great task, but I am more than confident that the class of 2004 will have no problems exceeding every goal and expectation that's ever been set. The OIR song goes, "'Cause to me, throughout eternity, there is somewhere we are welcome to go. I said it's something free that means a lot to me. When I'm with my friends, I feel home." The past 5 years of our lives have been a period of growth and discovery. In between the countless sleepless nights, the endless 10-page papers, the non-stop online conversations, and all the memories that we've made, we found out who we truly are as individuals, students, and most of all, friends. And now, as we prepare to enter the real world, we are a confident group of adults. We've all finally grown into our world. But before I go, I must take a second to recognize a few people that have made up my home and been my backbone for the past 5 years. To my aunt, who is my second mother, my brother, who is my best friend, my dad, who is my hero, and my mom, who is my everything. Mom, stop crying. Thank you for making me the person that I am today. I love you all more than you'll ever know. And for my classmates, I wish you all the luck in the world. Thank you.
201 of the 326 students were recognized. I want you to understand that they broke the money record once again for the town of Marshfield in the class. This class is an outstanding class, and it was recognized by a total amount given by the residents of Marshfield, friends, service organizations, businesses, groups, and community services. The total amount, the record amount given by the town of Marshfield, this does not include any financial gifts, individual, any athletic or academic scholarships. This is only money coming from Marshfield, small little Marshfield. The total gift from the town of Marshfield to the class of 2004 is $185,260. I would kindly ask all of those recipients who got an award and are wearing the gold cord to please rise for an outstanding job in your recognition. Congratulations. Off the field here, I'll guarantee you there'll be some parent who's going to grab me and say, my kid's going to get that award next year. Because it's happened every year since that infamous baseball game. This year, in this class, there are 6 students who have perfect attendance. I'd like Mr. Kelly to come up to make the presentation of these awards. We have an excellent plaque. I'm going to read the names. I'm going to ask all 6 people to come up on stage and to remain here for recognition as Mr. Kelly presents these plaques. This is a citation for perfect attendance from 1999 through 2004, which is all of the high school experience. Presented to Sean Leahy. Again, from grade 8 on, 1999 to 2004. Perfect attendance, Tom McDonald. Perfect attendance from 1998 to 2004 for Anthony Williams. believe from grade 7, that is. Perfect attendance from grade 6, 1997 to 2004, Eric Collins. Perfect attendance from grade 3, 1994 to 2004, Sarah Perret. And the Cal Ripken of Marshfield High School. He has not missed a day since K through 12. That's a total of 2,340 days. It's my pleasure to introduce Michael Lane. Great round for student attendance. Thank you. They know in the relationship with me that I came back particularly for this class because it was the last class. It's been with me for 5 years since we transferred the 8th grade down to the middle school. First of all, in my speech today, I'm going to give them a little pat in the back. I'm going to give them a little humor. I'm going to give them a little Emerson. And then we'll boot them out. First of all, congratulations are in order on another rite of passage, another benchmark of growth and progress for these kids. From their first wobbly step that Michael talked about, to their place on the podium here this afternoon. This is another significant moment in your life, their lives. There will be many to come. Higher education, careers, marriage, parenthood, each in church, be cherished and celebrated. Few occasions in life are of greater significance than graduation from high school. There's a time for reflection, a time for memories, time to look to the future. Certain events in these young lives will remain with you forever. Driver's license, we want to talk about some of those. Your first job, your SAT scores, which have been shown increase, your passing of the MCAS, and this class has done a terrific job. Particular teacher, coach, advisor, administrator, maybe something on the athletic field, certain part in the play production of the drum, or a piece of music. Obviously, block scheduling, tightened academic attendance and athletic requirements, and finally, probably for some of you, your detention. Your achievements have brought accolades to you, the school, your families, and the community. The class of 2004 is a very spirited class, believe me, I know, and a class of unity. You should be very proud to be part of the Marshfield High School class of 2004, the last to spend 5 years in MHS. You'll also hear the graduation referred to as a commencement. I love the word commencement. The only time I didn't love it was one year when we misspelled it on the program and the tickets, and one of my neighbors called me and said, "Do you know how to spell?" Misspell the word commencement. We check it every day. Commencement gives a formal, it's not a graduation, it's a commencement for our kids. Commencement is not only an ending, but it's a beginning. Today's commencement culminates the end of your high school career. For some, it is the end of your formal education and entrance to the world of work. We're going to talk about work, because this speech is from friendship to work. For others, it's the stepping stone to the future, under bigger and better opportunities such as higher education. Thus, commencement introduces kind of a new chapter in life, a new adventure with all its challenges. Your graduation is linked between past dreams, present realities, and future achievements. Now, the popular song, You've Got a Friend, by James Taylor, to me epitomizes the strength and spirit of your class. Don't forget the friends that you have chosen. Cherish the friendships you've made, because many of you tonight at the grad night live will be the last time you may see some of these kids. Understand, however, that friends and friendships are like jewels you get in a red velvet pouch. Some become tarnished and scratched. Some jewels crack. Some deteriorate over a period of time. Others are simply missing the first time you reach into the pouch for some help and assurance. On the other hand, some friendships, like fine diamonds, make the journey unscathed and add much richness and color to our lives. As you exit from Marshfield High School today, please realize that leaving the comfort of longtime friends, as well as leaving the nurturing of your family, is indeed a difficult transition and adjustment. However, be confident. You're well prepared. You'll be able to meet successfully the pressures and obstacles of today's society, as I'll point out in a second. Remember that your education at Marshfield High School is the cornerstone and foundation upon which you will
I hope this is a pause for dramatic effect.
I wish I could say that there is endless space for your dreams to grow, that the future promises to be rosy. I wish I could predict peace and tranquility and long, happy lives for all of you, but I can't. It's a tough, competitive world out there. We grown-ups who are over 30 have passed you a very difficult task, past the big buck. From pollution to war to budget crisis to diminishing resources, crime, sexual diseases, we've handed you a bundle. Since 9/11, the world is a different place. I'm afraid it's make it or break it time for many of you. We need you, all of you in this class, to help out the mess that some of us have created to find a better tomorrow. You've got to be very strong and very smart. You've got to work hard. You've got to become involved, informed, to take up a particular cause. You've got to be resourceful and alert, conscientious and thoughtful, innovative and brave. And above all, you've got to be educated. It's not all bad, you know, to be educated. Although you may not think so now, as you feel the burden of school life lift from your shoulders. But the truth remains, to be educated is to be truly blessed. It makes such a difference. In the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, the school makes the difference between men. All the fairy tales from Aladdin on are only fictions to indicate the one miracle of intellectual enlargement. When a man stupid becomes a man inspired, all limits disappear. No horizons shut down. Getting an education isn't just the daily grind of schoolwork or the perpetual warfare with what you perceive to be petty rules and regulations, the childish trappings of some boring routine that's been forced on you for the past 13 years. It's better than that. For one, it's the gateway to what you do, work, your unique contribution to the world. You need to go out and find your work. Whether it's a carpenter, inventor, short-order cook, lawyer, a dancer, a plumber, car mechanic, a brain surgeon, a welder, a teacher, or a deep-sea diver. Find what suits you best. Whether you go to night school, community college, vocational school, learn your craft and do it well. For no one is happier than the person who goes off every day to work he or she loves. How many people, look around you, how many people here hate their job? How many people love their job and the successes behind it? I personally have loved every moment since the day I stepped foot into Marshfield High School. And being the principal, I love it even when the job stinks. Everything else can fly or fail you, but if you've got your work, you've got everything. It's a very exciting proposition. For those of you who don't have work and have not come to you yet, you're still young. Don't worry about it. Take your time. I wish we could keep the kids here another year. Explore, experiment, take advantage of what's out there. Don't let the economics bend your resolve or allow your parents or your friends to bully you into becoming something you are not. But don't make stupid mistakes like the kids of today. That's the real difference between the kids of yesterday and the kids of today. It's not really cool to make stupid mistakes. You people, as young people, can't afford to slip up and remain dumb, idle, or fried. If this sounds too serious, know that you can work hard and still have fun. Lots of it. Having fun is an art in itself. Take it from me. I've had a blast. One of the reasons I never wanted to go above principal is I wanted to be with the kids. That's where the fun is. So have good fun today, tonight. Love those who are with you. Remember those who are not. Stay safe. Be proud. And don't forget to clean your room. Let me continue on just a bit, if I might. After 22 years, I just want to talk a little bit to the kids in the community. Came into play tonight. This is the quote. Betty Anderson once said, "He who has achieved success has lived well, laughed often, and loved much." My wife said to me, "That's standing in your office." I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "The night that I was appointed as principal 22 years ago, one of the neighbors gave me this, put it on the wall. I've never looked at it in 22 years. It wasn't until my secretary was crying today that we went in and we looked at it. It's dated 1982. When I took over, it's 82, 83 being the first class. And there it is. The man is a success, who has lived well, laughed often, and loved much, who has gained the respect of intelligent women and men, who follows his dreams and pursues excellence in each task, and who brings out the best in others and gives only the best of himself. Unbelievable. I haven't looked at it in 22 years. As the class of 2004 leaves Marshfield High School today, I too leave Marshfield High School after 22 years at the helm. I have truly enjoyed and loved and laughed the time and the work spent here during my 36 years as a coach, an advisor, department head, a teacher, a confidant, a mentor, and as principal. I leave with many wonderful memories of time shared, both in happiness and in some sorrows, and numerous thrills of victory and a few agonies of defeat. Time shared with students, colleagues, parents, and townspeople. Little did I realize when I came to Marshfield in 1968 what a rewarding experience it would be to me both personally and professionally. On behalf of my wife Sylvia, our two children, Kristen and Bill, both graduates of MHS, I say to Marshfield, goodbye, Godspeed. Thanks for the wonderful ride. Thank you very much. Now to the graduates. I've asked this is a day for the graduates. My day will come down the road. My final words to the graduates comes in the form of a request. I sincerely hope that before you leave this field today, or when you go home and you're in the midst of your excitement, that you find the time to recognize the efforts of your parents, the relatives, your teachers, advisors, coaches, administrators, mentors, or friends who supported you and who were there when you needed them. This is the time. There's no better time than the present to seek out those individuals and express your thanks. Believe me, everybody loves to be thanked. On behalf of the faculty, the administration, the community of Marshfield, as well as myself, I commend and congratulate each and every one of you. The best of luck to you in your future endeavors. It is with pride and distinct pleasure that we now present diplomas to you, the Marshfield High School graduates of 2004. We don't have a track.
She would.
6-time state champion who just flew in from Holyoke. As Brian pointed out, I'd like to acknowledge Ashley Hubbard. I guess we have to have Ashley do a victory lap, since she's never run in front of the hometown folks. I can't see Ashley wherever she is.
She's coming.
Congratulations, Ashley. Congratulations to the pilot who brought him here. The Hubbard family. Standing class, and I ask that you act appropriately as we call each name. These students have been here 13 years. Some of them, and I don't mean this derogatory, 14, some 15 years that who earned this high school diploma. I appreciate every bit of hard work that they've done. Our standards on Marshfield High School are probably the highest in the South Shore, and if not the state. So these kids have truly earned an excellent diploma.
Brian Christopher Holmquist, Carrie Beth Shanley, Michael Edward Fahey, Andrea Lynn Soper, Nicholas Andrew Aruka, Colleen Elizabeth Walls, Krista Michelle Ganon. Patrick Joseph Jones. Melissa Derby. Lindsay Taylor O'Neill. Brian Butler.
Matthew John Fogg. Mary Emily Joyle. Paul Vincent Gentile. Elizabeth Marie Joyce. Thomas Anthony Giaquinto. Erica Marie Cabillion. Jason Allen Gilbert. Joanne Kevin John Good. Megan Patricia Kelly. Jeffrey Russell Grant. Julie Ann Keneally. Richard Allen Grant. Leah Therese Knight. Daniel Edward Gray. Catherine Elizabeth Kudzma. Thomas John Griffiths. Nicole Elizabeth Labo. Jared Spencer Gunnison. Caitlin Wells Landry. Andrew Halko Sheehan. Amanda Lisa Larson. Pupils are granted diplomas. Philip D'Souza, Sarah Moan, Nicole Engren, Stephen McVarish, Alex Perkins, Kevin Torgerson, Adam Wang, Elizabeth Ryan. Congratulations to the class of 2004.
We have one more thing before the end of our commencement ceremony. Though Mr. Deftos doesn't know about it, it's not in the program. Mrs. Gail Roycroft, who is former head of the guidance department, will just be speaking on the behalf of Mr. Deftos in his retirement.
From the class of 1964 to the class of 2004, it has been an incredible journey for Peter W. Deftos. I have been with him for 43 years. When he entered Brockton High School, so did I, my first year teaching. What a wonderful ride we've both had. This same young man has been special personally and professionally, as you must have guessed by now. In those early days, he was a bit thinner. He did have more hair. He was a serious student. He did his homework. He made the National Honor Society in the largest high school east of the Mississippi. And yes, there is something in short power. He played on the premier basketball team of in the state in his day. That Brockton High team you couldn't beat. But he was also a charmer, and you must have guessed that too. He chose his after-school job very seriously after a lot and lots of homework and research. He worked at the Dairy Queen. I bet you thought it was for all he could eat. It was for the girls he could meet. That's the power of homework. Till Sylvia got in the line. Peter, you didn't travel far from your roots coming from Brockton to Marshfield. It's basically a 45-minute ride on a good day. but it truly was your journey of a lifetime. A natural in the classroom, you have given MHS your all, always. A teacher, a coach, acting department head, students, assistant principal, and then at last, principal.